Right, we're going to start things off with a little pre-match game today. Everyone, get your typing fingers ready. We're heading down to the comments. The transfer window in January is now open. I've just spent £30 million on a 20-year-old. The game is, tell me his nationality and his position. Go! Hello and welcome to Season 20, Episode 5 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we've got the North London derby. We're away against Arsenal in the Premier League, and then we're also away against our old buddies Brentford. Since you were last with me, things have been going well-ish. We lost to Chelsea, which was a little bit of a blip, but we did respond by absolutely thumping Watford 5-0 in the FA Cup, including one goal from our new boy, our new £30 million January signing, James Burgess. He's English. You probably guessed that because I made a big deal about it, and I don't sign English players, but I've signed one. I've signed the English wonder kid. Not a English wonder kid. I've signed the English wonder kid, James Burgess. He's a 20-year-old striker or central midfield player. He's already got a full England cap. He's got 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, and he comes in for £30 million from Leeds. So he's been playing the last couple of years in the Leeds first team in the Championship. He's not a rampant goal scorer, but age 20, he offers us a little bit of extra strength in depth up front, so we can probably move Demchenko on in the summer, or maybe even Vendrig. Vendrig is still talking about wanting to leave the club, so if Vendrig were to move on, we could make do with Iribarren, Demchenko as our first choice, and then Burgess and Wells as backups. The other youngster, Stuart Hills, is leaving. He's leaving or has already left. I forget. He's that insignificant to me. If we look at our transfer history, he's not left yet. He is on his way out though. I've put him on the transfer list. He's not very good, and he's too old as well. And he's quite the troublemaker. There you go, Stuart Hills, just moaning constantly that he's never going to get a chance in the first team. Well, Stuart Hills, this is your first time in and around the first team squad after 4 seasons out on loan. You've had 5 appearances and been rubbish in all of them. So whose fault is it really that you're not getting a chance in the first team? New signings aside, and with our current recent run of form, if only we'd beaten Chelsea, but they are top of the league. But we do find ourselves third with 2 games in hand on both Stoke and Chelsea, who are above us. Arsenal, who we play today, also have 2 games in hand, so that's going to be a massive game. But if we were to beat Arsenal and then win our other game in hand, we'd find ourselves just 2 points behind Chelsea, up in second place. Iribarren is obviously still top scorer in the Premier League, best player in the Premier League. Oh, and did I mention he won the Ballon d'Or? I've never had a player win the Ballon d'Or before, but hold on, where's his awards? He won the Ballon d'Or, he won the World Player of the Year. Where's that? That's down here somewhere. He was in the World Team of the Year. He was named in Spain's Best 11. Only runner-up in the Golden Shoe. Oh, that was last year. No, runner-up in the Golden Shoe. And also runner-up in Best Player in Europe. But he was in the World Team of the Year, as was Georgi Plotnikov, made it into the World Team of the Year as well. And just to round things off, Oscar won European Golden Boy. I think that's what it's called. Hold on, let's have a look at his awards. European Golden Boy, and made it into the Turkey overall Best 11 at the age of 21. He's already played 36 games and scored 19 goals for Turkey, age 21. That's why he's already a world-class player. But what it does mean is our squad is starting to look more and more impressive, and we're running out of excuses for not winning the Premier League sometime soon, because we've clearly got an excellent squad with a lot of really rather good players in it. So this is the team that we're going to be playing in the first of today's 2 games against Arsenal. We're going for Diaz in goal. I don't think there's very much between our goalkeepers anymore. I know there was, when we signed Igor, it was for a lot of money because he was supposed to be a significant upgrade on Diaz, but there has been some murmurings in the comments that, is Igor actually any good, or is Diaz your best option? Man United, we've mentioned before, we turned down something like a £46 million bid for Diaz in the summer. Man United also made an offer for Igor in the summer, but wouldn't go above 25 million. So they obviously rate rate Diaz higher than Igor. I'm trying to do the comparison. They go, compare player with Igor. If we put them side by side, let me decide. Not let me decide. You lot decide. Let me know down in the comments who is the better keeper. I mean, I don't even know what sort of shape you're looking for a goalkeeper. I look at these stats so rarely. Diaz is 2 inches taller and 4 pounds heavier. But if we look at these stats, Igor concedes more often, so he's got more goals conceded per game. Diaz has kept 5 clean sheets from 8 appearances. Igor only 10 from 21. Diaz has got a better average rating. So I'm going to give Diaz a little run in the team, and we're going to decide once and for all who our first choice keeper is. We have promised him first team football as well, so that's weighed into the decision a little bit as well. And Igor's on the transfer list because he wants to move to a bigger club. So there's that as well. I think if we got a big money offer for Igor, we're at a moment in time where we might let him go and try and bring in a youngster as backup for Diaz. So this is our team. Diaz in goal. A back four of Nyhouse, Plotnikov, Eriksson and Ndai. Anicic, Sedman and Ortega are the midfield with Oscar in behind Demchenko and Iribarren. We're still doing the 2 complete forward thing because both Burgess and Vendrig and Demchenko and Iribarren, they all want to be complete forwards. So we'll let them all be complete forwards. Vendrig is falling down the pecking order because he's just not playing very well. I'm tempted to bring the £30 million wonder kid on as my first attacking substitution today, just because he did score an absolute screamer in that FA Cup game, and we've just spent a lot of money on him. He doesn't want to leave. Vendrig does want to leave. Vendrig's just not doing it for us this season. I think he liked being a big fish in a small pond, and now he's just one of 3, or now one of 4 good strikers. He's not enjoying himself quite so much. Yes, we've been looking forward to this. We don't care what Arsenal are up to. Yes, I'm pleased about whoever that was. Let's get into the game and hopefully pick up a victory. We're going for standard on our usual 4-3-1-2 formation today. And hopefully Iribarren continues his ridiculous goal-scoring form, where in an effort to go better than Vendrig did last year when he missed out on a goal-per-game record by 1 goal, Iribarren is currently about 3 or 4 games ahead on his goal per game target. Last time I checked, it was something like 21 goals from 19 or 18 games or something really silly that just shouldn't be achievable. So hopefully he keeps that run of form going today. I think this might be his first Premier League game since being proclaimed the best player in the world. And we celebrate by going 1-0 down and Diaz is beaten at the near post. Would Igor have conceded that goal? That's the question we need to be asking ourselves. If we have a look at it in 3D and see just how poor the goalkeeping was here, or whether Diaz was to blame at all. I mean, it's a ball over the top and our centre-backs are very static and very slow to get across and cover. But Diaz has got to do a little bit better there. I've bigged him up rather a lot before the game and he's let me down a little bit there. And if we have much more of that, then Igor finds his way back into the team and our plans change. Obviously, we've looked at the scenario where we win both of today's matches and it pushes us up into second place. The flip side of that, if we fail to pick up wins, we can just about confirm that we're not in the title hunt this season. And in actual fact, this defeat against Arsenal is pretty big if it happens. I'm saying defeat as if we've already lost. We haven't already lost. Let's try and control the game, even though we're losing it. We're playing well. We've had more of the possession. We've had more shots. What we haven't done is carve out a clear-cut chance. And that's what we need to do with these subs. We're going to bring both of them on, I think. We're going to bring on both Burgess and Vendrig, because those two have not done anything at all. So we'll bring the new lad and last season's hero on and see if between the two of them, I think we'll go attacking as well, actually. And we'll just try and get the ball up to the two of them. And between them two and Oscar, you've got to think we've got a goal in us. But Oscar's not having a good game either. So let's take Oscar off, bring Wagner on. Wagner can go back into midfield. Ortega comes in behind the front two. Attacking wise, we've not really been there today, have we? This has been one of the most disappointing performances we've had in front of goal. And Anicic just flails wide from distance. And I don't remember us really testing their goalkeeper at all. All that talk of the best player in the world and the European Golden Boy and all the goals we've got in this team and we've signed a wonder kid striker. That was just rubbish. Few changes going into the game against Brentford. We've mixed up the midfield a little bit. Wagner and Ziyech coming back into the team. Ziyech is just coming back from injury. He's not really fully fit, but he's our absolute world-class central midfielder. So much better than the other options that we've got. If there's any opportunity to get him into the team, we kind of need him now off the back of that defeat. Ribeiro comes back in at left-back as well. But we do keep the faith with Diaz and leave that front three unchanged for today at least. If it doesn't work, then my options are switch them back so that Iribarren's the complete forward on support and Demchenko's a poacher, which is what the two of them were doing earlier in the season. Alternatively, Vendrick can come into the team. So we have a couple of different options. I'm not afraid of Ziyech's new £56 million release clause. The man's 30 years old. We've given him a 2-year contract because we can't really afford to lose him, but we are, in a similar way to what we did with Cotton Eye Joe, actively thinking about what we can do to replace him over the course of the next season or so. Iribarren's just hit the crossbar. We are on the lookout for a midfielder with world-class potential. We've thought we've had a few over the last few years, but Anicic and Wagner are both looking like they're just going to be decent Premier League players and are never going to go on to be truly world-class. But Igor Anicic can hear me, and with less than a minute on the clock, decides to get his 6th goal of the season. This is, after all that time not really playing for us and then being stuck out on the right wing, this is his breakthrough season really in the Tottenham first team. He's reminding me of the Anicic we had at Ipswich, who I assumed was a world-class superhero wonder kid when we were there. It turns out he was just much, much better than the other Ipswich players. But Anicic starting a move off again, and that's some lovely passing through that midfield. Anicic slots Oscar through. Oscar makes it 2. Anicic started that move and was the final pass to get the assist at the end. He's trying to prove that he's the man to replace Ziyech, but unfortunately, and, we don't expect Lucas to ever get this wrong, my trusted assistant manager, he only thinks Anicic has 3-star potential and he's not yet fulfilled it. So he's not going to be a 5-star player like Ziyech is. By the way, talking of 5-star players, Ziyech is still only 4.5. But Iribarren has got his full 5 stars on both current and potential ability now. In the same way as I've never had a Ballon d'Or winner, I've never had a 50-goal-a-season striker, I don't ever recall having a player who had 5 full stars for current ability. Certainly not at this level. You get them in non-league occasionally when you bring a player in on loan, or you get an absolutely exceptional talent on a free transfer or something. But Premier League level, to have a 5-star current ability is insane. And Igor Anicic is having the best game he has ever had. We need to talk about replacing the midfield a little bit more often because he's just scored a screamer from long range. With 15 minutes in, Anicic has 2 goals, 1 assist. This is the performance of his life. He's putting a marker out now to say, you forget any of this nonsense about signing a new replacement for Ziyech. You've got one right here. I've been waiting patiently for nearly 3 years. For goodness sake, man, give me some time on the pitch. Unfortunately, looking at the league table, while all this is going on, it looks like Stoke and Arsenal are both winning their extra games as well, or Arsenal were the other one with a game in hand, weren't they? So they've done what we wanted to do, and it looks like they're going to win both of their games in hand. We're looking likely to only get the 1 win, and Southampton and West Ham are both breathing down our neck. Talking of the league table, not only are Ipswich bottom of it, which is obviously sad to see, Liverpool are in a bit of a relegation battle. They could see themselves going down this season. Oscar's in and really should have scored. But Liverpool are down in 17th place, only 4 points clear of Leicester. That's an interesting development that we need to keep an eye on as this season progresses. Right, Iribarren. Not scored yet this episode. Have we had an episode yet this season where Iribarren's not scored? Because this could be an unusual novelty that we don't really want to get used to. Demchenko now, what's he going to do with it? He brings it in field. Oscar out to Anicic, who's just everywhere today. He's looking for his hat-trick, plays in Iribarren, and Iribarren should have scored there. I don't understand why he didn't. He always scores from that position. I think we might have broken the best player in the world. Clearly, it's like when managers have manager of the month syndrome and lose their next game. Iribarren wins a Ballon d'Or. He's just going to have a rubbish next season, next year after winning it. Iribarren's in and gets his goal. We don't have to start the horrible precedent of an episode without a goal from him. He can hear me smack talking him as well. It's clearly the route to success today. Talk nonsense about our players and they feel the need to prove me wrong. So, that Iribarren, he can't score a hat-trick, can he? Isn't he useless? I mean, to be fair, he got 2 assists before getting the goal as well. So, him and Anicic together are both having a very good game. Demchenko's coming off. We're going to bring Vendrig on today. I know we said potentially Burgess would be our first choice coming on. In fact, at 4-1, Burgess probably should be the first choice. He's a wonder kid. He's English. He's the kind of player we need to be building our team around a little bit as we start to bring more young English talent through. Burgess needs as much game time as possible. I am conscious as well that with Burgess arriving, Wells is going to get less game time. So I am looking to move one of Demchenko or Vendrig on. Demchenko, obviously, 33 is the obvious one to go if we can get Vendrig back in form. Iribarren scores again. If Vendrig continues with his form of 2 seasons ago, where he only scored 3 goals all year and was rubbish, I can't have a player who only has 1 good season in 3, no matter how good that season was. And there are clubs in for him. I think Bayern Munich were interested, Paris Saint-Germain are interested. If we could get 40 or 50 million pounds for Vendrig, when we've got Iribarren obviously to score the goals, Demchenko looks like he's got another year in him. I know he's getting on a bit, but he's shown no signs of slowing down yet this season, so we don't need to be panicking too much about his age yet. And then with Wells and Burgess coming through, one or both of them could be ready for regular first team football by the time Demchenko's legs fall off. So perhaps Vendrig is the man who moves on if we get a big enough offer. Let me know down in the comments what you would do. And I know you wouldn't have signed another striker. I know I shouldn't have signed another striker, but I've not seen an English wonder kid in 20 seasons. When I saw him, I had to have him. Oh, that feels like the sort of thing that gets played back in court at some point in the future. Forget all that. We want a match. That's fine. I need to go and take a shower. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.